Hello, and welcome to Sunset Talks, Season 2, a podcast by Sunset Hospitality Group. This episode is brought to you from the private villa at Drift, Dubai. Today, we're joined by Pierre Khadra, the creative mind behind Dream Dubai. From choreography to full-scale production, Pierre has shaped Dream into one of Dubai's most immersive entertainment experiences. We'll dive into his creative process, the evolution of Dream, the vision behind Season 8, and what it takes to keep pushing artistic boundaries in a competitive market like Dubai. Hello, Pierre.
Hi, Hassan.
Welcome to Sunset Talks. My first question would be a question that I always like to start with all my guests, which is, what does "we bring people together" mean to you?
It's such a powerful phrase because, especially in what I do, to be able to fit around 200, 220 people, all from different nationalities, different backgrounds, different cultures, different social classes, in one room, in one environment, in one experience, it feels like time has stopped and everyone now is doing the same thing regardless of their background. This is on the client side and on the, people. But when it comes to also the manpower and the staff in Dream, it's also fascinating how this collective work, artists that come from all around the world, each one with his culture, each one with his talent, can join forces and create something extremely powerful that one man cannot do. So it's always about people. It's always about teamwork. It's always about this collective, experience and collective work that has power.
So we bring people together to celebrate life. People from one side, they're celebrating what you are presenting, and from the other side, the team is also celebrating what they're doing to make these people happy.
True.
You have a remarkable journey in this world. But what led you to become the creative director of Dream Dubai?
Look, I feel like I had a very healthy journey. I started as a dancer. Then I became a professional dancer, then a choreographer. Then today, the creative director of Dream, which is actually a dinner show. Not only a dinner show, it's one of the best dinner shows in the region. And I feel like I did things the right way because me going through all these stages made me realize what happens in the backstage, what artists feel, what makes them feel good, how they feel in their costumes, how they feel on stage. So this is the way to do things. It was a fast but interesting journey to reach where I am today as a creative director of Dream in this short period of time. But it's a lot of experience and a lot of bagage, as we said it, that led to this.
I myself attended few shows in Dubai that are similar to Dream, but of course they were not even close to what we are used to see in Dream. And Dream is celebrating this 3 years in 2025. What does it make it different than all the other shows that people attend in Dubai? You can sense the difference between what you see in Dream and what you see outside Dream.
True. This is actually the hardest question I get every time. Everyone asks me, like, what makes Dream special? What makes Dream different? And honestly, it's a lot of things, and it's also one thing. And if I want to sum it up in one word, Dream is unpredictable. It caught you by surprise. You just go in, start with the dinner experience, a loungy experience, and then a few hours after, find yourself in the middle of the party. So there's this climax that takes you from this loungy place to a proper party, and in between there's so many slaps in the face from crazy aerialists that we fly from either Cirque du Soleil or Vegas, the skaters, the theatrical performances, the crazy vocalists. There's a certain experience, there's a certain magic in the place that you just cannot explain it. Of course, other than the quality and the consistency that we have in the place, this unpredictable factor that we have makes it, very special. And talking about consistency, this is a show that happens the same every day. So this is a time-coded show, and it's very important for us, for a guest that comes on a Wednesday, to have the same experience as someone that comes on a Friday or Saturday or Sunday. So this is what we mean by consistency. It's a time-coded show. The moment you press play, the lighting, visuals, music, everything comes to life, you know. And quality, there's no,
of course, of course. I saw that, and one time I was like, are these people trying to come not even 10% of what we experience at Dream? So you can easily sense the difference. I want you to walk me through the whole process of coming up with a new concept or new season, and how it goes from concept to execution. What do you do in between?
Honestly, this is the most chaotic and most, the hardest thing I go through in my job, because you start with a blank paper. There's no pickup line, there's nothing. It's just you and your imagination. And I believe a great creative is someone that can see the end result before it being actually on stage. So it's just crazy. Honestly, it's very tough. Now, actually, I'm going through it because I'm creating season 8. But as much as it's hard, it's also the most fascinating thing, because you're just creating pieces, and then you gather them all together like pieces of a puzzle at the end, and it ends up looking like a beautiful painting. So it's just so fascinating, but at the same time, it's extremely hard. There's a lot of layers, from the technicalities, from the creative part, from the music, from the 3D mapping. There's so many layers that we take into consideration that I have to conceptualize, and then for my team to also build it with me in order to make it come to life.
How do you balance between the vision that you have and the creativity that you have in mind with the expectations of the audiences, and on top of all that, the trends, the market trends?
Look, this is also another thing that makes Dream special. Because as much as we work on the classics and on the quality and on the the culture of entertainment and art, but at the same time we make it trendy. It's as much as it's artistic, as much as it's commercial at the same time. And this combination between artsy and commercial made Dream special. I make sure that I use trendy songs, big hits that you hear on the radio, but then I take them, we rearrange them, we elevate the songs, we make them very specific for Dream. And this is when I tell you that everything is custom made. And honestly, everything is custom made, whether it's music, costumes, visuals. We always need to stay in trend, but we can always elevate it and make it our own and try to have our signature on it.
Before I move to the second question, I remember very well one time, because I sit next to the Dream team at the office, and I kept listening to a song that was like, they were editing some video, and I was listening to a song for Adele, but on a different, better version. And I said, guys, what are you listening to? This is a new version of the song. And they were like, no, we did it for the show, and it was even better than the one that we hear on
This is the most interesting thing. Like, for me, honestly, I want to use commercial. I want people to connect with the music I use, but I want to give them something new. I don't want them to be... It was
completely new, completely a whole new world that fits Dream. But it was amazing. So... That's true. What you're saying is exactly what we see, and what you say now is what you expect at the show.
Trendy, elevated, let's call it,
Exactly. Yeah. I've been there before, and I've seen that the show is not only people dancing or people singing. There's light, there's audio, there's spotlights sometimes, there's, a lot of technology stuff that are integrated into your show. Tell me about the role of these additions to your show.
Technology is very important, honestly. We work with the highest in the market, the highest equipments, let's say. We always renovate, we always add new items, we always just switch, and we're hungry for something new. We're always in the search for the new technologies. One has to say that the 3D mapping wall is one of our biggest assets. It was supposed to be part of the architecture. A wall that moves all night, But then I added another layer to it, and now it works by theme. It just projects a certain theme that actually like helps you understand what's happening on stage. You know, it's either an introduction or it's a backdrop for the show. And now recently in season 7, and that you will also see in season 8, is the interactive wall, where a dancer actually is dancing with the wall, is shifting and moving the wall all around her or him. So we're always on the search for this. I want to use them as tools in my creative process.
You want to use every single part of the, let's say, the venue, the property, to make it integrated. Now that we spoke about season 8 is now, by the time this episode is live, season 8 is live. What do we expect from season 8? Season 7 was
honestly,
amazing.
What to tell you, Hassan, we've done so much to a point you feel like you're out of ideas. No. Season 7 was I took people on a journey to the future.
Dreamverse.
It was very futuristic, very avant-garde. It was just so different. I don't know why I feel like I need to take them on the complete other side of the
the desert.
No, I want to take them to the past.
Okay.
Where I call it La Belle Époque, where things used to be very glamorous, very vintage. This vintage circus cabaret feel that you only see abroad, that we don't have actually in Dubai.
Yeah.
And I want to give this taste of craziness, this freak feel that I never did in my shows before. So it's also artistic. It's how I see my circus. You will not see animals. You will not see but you will see illusions and dancers taking certain roles that will, like.
In season 7, you had this tiger made out of human bodies, and it was shocking the details that we saw. I remember very well the tail was moving in a way.
You know how many times I printed this costume, because this is not a fabric that I buy and I just sew it.
Yeah.
So we designed this costume, and it was 4 dancers taking shape to create a tiger. So you had no idea how we designed this. We just tried maybe 6-7 costumes in order to reach this perfect result. And each time the dancers had to wear it, then to mark where we need to change, send it to the designer, then designer send it to the printing company to print on fabric. Then from this to the tailor, then from tailor to dancer, then to adjust, then for me to sit and watch.
Yeah.
It takes ages.
And make sure that it's seen as a tiger from all the different
angles.
angles.
It's not a cat, or a bird or a cockroach.
No,
it's a tiger.
I remember the tail was moving in a very attention to details level 1000. So the challenges that you have in season 7 with the tiger. Tell me more about the challenges in season 8.
Look, the biggest challenge always is being innovative and creating something new. This is my biggest, drive, let's say. I want to create something new. I want to surprise the audience. I don't want to be predictable. I mean, I told you the biggest asset of Dream is that it's not predictable. You can never know what's happening in the next season. And I always emphasize on this because, I heard someone saying, when you're predictable, you're weak. And it hit hard because honestly, the most beautiful thing in life is to actually be surprised by something and not to know where you're going, especially when it comes to show business. So I'm always finding this this thing that will, shock the audience in a good way. And at the same time, also adding some new technology, adding some new
innovative technologies.
Artists also flying new artists as well, because we always have artists that we fly from Vegas or Cirque du Soleil or any big show in the world that come as a guest artist for 3 months.
So it's challenging to stay innovative with a show that has been running for 3 years and 8 shows. Yeah. Now, it's hard to stay innovative. Do you feel sometimes that you're blocked?
Look, definitely. The thing is, when people are watching the show, they think it's very easy. They think it's just another show, it's just another season. They don't understand the work and the days and night that it takes to create something like this, and for it not to be a copy or something that is everywhere. It's very original. So I face a lot of challenges. Yes. I face a lot of moments where I'm just drained or blocked or whatever. But I know what to do. I just take a break. I try to watch a show. I try to travel. I try to inspire myself as much as I want, because at the end of the day, I'm human just like anyone else. I
Yeah.
can
You can run out of ideas
yes,
sometimes.
out of ideas and feel just blocked, you know. And this is not, you know, like a job where you just sit on your laptop and do the job. You have to be in the right state of mind. You have to be in the right psychology plays a big role in my job.
Exactly. What about the other seasons that are coming? Where do you see Dream going with all these seasons?
Dream actually, I think, became a legacy. You know, today it's not a venue, it's a brand. And it's very hard. There's a big difference between a venue and a brand. A venue is just any restaurant or any whatever, a nightclub. But a brand has a DNA, has a certain fundamental base that can go like worldwide, you know. And I feel Dream now, with everything we've built, has a very solid like structure and pillars in order for it to go worldwide.
Okay. 8 seasons, 3 years, a lot of shows, a lot of team members working, lights, I don't know. Did you ever receive criticism on any of your shows, and how do you handle that?
Look, very bad. I'm not someone.
You don't handle criticism.
I'm not someone that takes criticism very well.
Okay.
Though I'm very self-critical, you know. To be very honest, I'm not delusional. I'm not someone that always is looking for the applause or for the, you know, to be praised. But at the same time, I don't like someone to point fingers at me and to teach me what I do, because I'm very aware of what I do.
Every single detail.
Yes, and I'm very self-critical, as I said. But I'm someone that is also very open to discussion. I'm someone very open to sit on a table and discuss what works, what doesn't work, how to move forward, how to improve. But there's a you know, like, there's a way to do it with me.
Yeah.
This is how I just don't want to lie and just, you know, like, try to round the corners with you. I'm just trying to be very honest, and there's always a way. And as much as you think I work in a company, and at the end of the day, I'm an artist. As much as you want to put me in a box, and, you know, like,
it will not work.
It will just not work. In order for you to get what you're getting, you need to give me what I need as well. You know, this is how it works.
Tell me more about season 8. I want surprises. I want factors that you will reveal now, so people would be interested to go and see the show. Give me surprises. Don't be diplomatic and.
Look, surprises. We have new artists, we have new singers, which is also something new, additional. We have a total different entrance. Everything they've seen before, from, you know, like, it's a total different, completely different entrance.
Okay.
The international acts this time are on a whole different level. And what other sneak peek I need to tell you?
Any new technologies being implemented?
The wall is not only a projection wall. It's going to be lit in a way that you've never seen before.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, also, sorry, I forgot to. We're so caught up by the show that I forgot to tell you that the whole place has changed. The whole place has changed. We're taking Dream on a fine dining experience.
Okay.
The whole table covers are different. You're going for the proper fine dining. The staircase has been shifted somewhere else. There's a bigger seating area. We've made it in a way that wherever you sit in Dream, you'll be able to watch the show in a good way.
So now it will accommodate a
bigger number of people.
Oh, wow.
Due to high demand first, and second, in order for us to be able to cover this huge production, it's a huge like production, you know. So you need to make also sense in your sales and P&L, and also just because we listen a lot and we know that everyone wants to watch the show in the best seating possible, so we shifted the architecture in a way that wherever you're seated, you're able to have the same experience as anyone else.
You mentioned to me one time that during the show, and I've seen you doing that, you walk through the tables. What do you do?
Look, I am, when everyone is having fun, having dinner, watching the show, I'm there watching the audience. the audience is
Taking
watching my show
feedback?
and I am watching them.
Okay.
Because people react genuinely. They people don't realize they are being watched. And in order for me to build on the next season, I need to build on their reaction. I need to understand what made them excited, what made them clap, what made them take their phone and film this moment, what initiated this reaction, why did this specific act or move got a standing ovation.
Okay.
I need to analyze all of this. It's very important for me to build on for the next season. I need to understand my clients. I need to understand my crowd. As much as I want to sell what they're buying, at the same time, I want to give them something new. So it's not only a behind the scenes work, it's also on the ground. Me watching my show, my dancers, trying to see how I can enhance, watching the audience and how they react. And honestly, if you watch now season 8 the first day, and if you watch it after a week, you'll understand that I enhanced few things. Because it's a premiere, so whoever is coming for the first week is watching a raw show,
Show.
So I always adapt. I'm always there to adjust the smallest details that you will probably not see. But for my, mental health, I will
of course
just fix it.
Pierre, one of the shows was a bit bolder than the other shows in terms of the theme. Did you ever receive any let's say a feedback that this show was a bit too bold? You have to tone it down.
Look, I always try not to provoke anyone because this is not my intention. Dream is a place for everyone.
Okay.
But it's very subjective. It's very subjective because
what's provocative for you is not provocative for
exactly. But especially now in Dubai, and I feel like even though Dubai has opened up so much to art and culture and everything. But I also feel very grateful that I'm working in Dubai because this has pushed my limits on the artistic side of me rather than the sexy, provocative side, which is very easy to create.
Yeah.
So when you cannot go that provocative, you have to scratch your brain and try to dig in to try to create something a bit more artistic and theatrical, which was in a way challenging, but at the same time, I feel like there's so many ways to take the show and still have a great show without it having it being provocative or sexy.
One time I was with you guys at the venue even before the show starts, and I saw the behind the scenes, and I saw you speaking to the light crew, audio, the dancers. It was all of the space, and I was like looking at you, and how could you manage all this and remember what you have to do, because everything is synchronized. You mentioned that in season 7 the performance were moving the walls in a certain way, so you have to memorize all this. How would you manage all this in your head and do remember what should be done, and the stress that is caused to you and to the performance?
True. Look, you're right. There's a lot that's happening. But in order for me to be able to do all of this is by creating a solid team around me that actually knows what to do and that has the same vision as I have, and also has the same goal for this show to be a success. Without a team, I will not be able to do what I'm doing. It is stressful as it's a live show at the end of the day. Anything can go wrong.
Exactly.
So everyone needs to be responsible for their own task. And once you manage the team, and once you just give each one his own task, and everyone is responsible for his own department, everything will function well. There's always room for surprises. There's always room for mistakes because it's a live show. But this is where working with professional dancers and professional artists, pays off, because they know how to deal when something is going wrong.
When a show is live, things happen. And unfortunately, not so long time ago, you lost one of your colleagues who was responsible to a big load of work in your role. When these things happen, what would you do?
This was the toughest experience I had to go through, and I think Dream as a whole, and especially the artist, has had to go through in their entire life probably. We lost Ushra around 5 to 6 months ago. She was a big part of the whole Dream experience because she did most of the seasons with me as a stage manager. This phase was just delusional. I knew she was battling cancer for a year and a half, but things escalated extremely fast at the end. And I remember receiving the news when I was in the backstage because I was covering her these days. She was at the hospital. She was not doing well. We knew things were going down the hill, but there's always hope in you that
100%
something will change. It's not going to be the end. I received this message when I was in the backstage. It was Halloween night. The place is packed. We are fully booked every night. For a second, I felt like I had no nerves. I just had to sit. The artists are in the backstage, like laughing. The music in the background in Dream is pumping. And it just felt like, I'm detached from this universe for a second. And then I had to collect myself and be the manager I am, and actually managing this situation, not telling anyone, operating the show as if nothing is happening. It was extremely delusional, in my head it was just like, I don't know what's happening, I'm just walking like a machine.
Yeah.
Then I finished the show. I ran to the hospital to meet her loved ones and her family, and then the dancers realized. And then for a week, Hassan, it was like a bipolar backstage. Crying in the backstage, then going on stage, laughing, dancing, performing, then going backstage, crying, redoing their makeup because everything is going off. It was such an intense experience, but honestly, a big shout out to all the artists, to all the Dream team that made it, because, they had the option of just closing Dream,
Exactly.
Which is honestly a big disappointment for the clients, which had no relationship with us whatsoever. And it's not their but one thing that is very important, let me tell you, in moments like these, you realize the importance of the company you work for, because to be very honest, in these dark days, HR and Sunset Hospitality as a whole did hands and legs to support the family of Ushra, the team. They facilitated everything, whether it's financial, psychological. They even offered psychological support to the artist. They were there in every step of the way. And I feel like this is where you understand who you're working with. And this was a life-changing experience for everyone. And you cannot talk about this subject without saying a huge thank you and a huge appreciation for this human side of the company that actually made a difference. Because if you're working with a different mindset or a different company,
it would be treated in a different way, probably.
It would have been probably impossible to
the show
make
must
it
go on. And I remember that day we were having a Sunset Talk session with Antonio and Naz, and Antonio had to mention that we're not gonna do this. We need to pray for Usra, and we have to send her family all the best prayers because we lost one of the team members, and we had to shut everything and just to pray for her. And they even called for a mess after that.
No, I'm telling you, they did everything. Honestly, there's we can go for days and talk about this. I just want to say that in moments like these, you understand whether it's you understand the company and the value of the company you're working with. And honestly, they did an outstanding job at what they do, especially HR.
Your shows have some physically danger moves. I remember one of the times I had to close my eyes or even shift because I was not I didn't have the nerves to actually continue. I couldn't. I had to look far because I was in my head, these people are gonna fall. Mm-hmm. Thank God never happened. Because of what?
Look, because we work with professional people. This is their job. They have to give you the illusion of danger. They have to give this adrenaline rush to the show. It's very important.
It was not adrenaline rush. It was adrenaline explosion.
I know. But it's very important, and it's just an illusion. These are professional artists that has been doing this for probably all their lives.
Yeah.
We fly them for this specific reason because they're professionals. Look, it's a live show. Yeah. Anything can go wrong, but you always minimize the risk by working with these crazy international artists.
We have a lot of shows in Dubai, right? And I believe myself as a client who visits properties that Dream influenced a lot of properties. And one time we had a discussion, you and me, and you told me that there was someone who copied the show in a different country. Why do you think Dream has become this influence?
Why? Because so many things. Look, let me tell you something funny just to change the mood of the last question. When I first came to Dubai, everyone like in Sunset just started taking me out to watch dinner shows, to watch shows, and they were aiming to have something, like as similar because these places were successful. And the concept of dinner shows was a bit in that direction. I was new, so I had to say, yeah, of course, whatever, But then in my head, I was like, I'm not doing this, honestly. Like, this is not me. This is not my background. This is not what I come from. I come from a theatrical background. I come from TV shows, from musicals. I need to create something different.
Video clips with Ricky Martin.
It was the performance live. I need to come up with something very different. So in order for me to do that, I combined my background, which is the theatrical, artsy background, with the commercial nightlife, entertainment that everyone has. So this combination created something new. And I believe nowadays everyone is looking for this new diamond in the market. And to emphasize on this, honestly, I started creating seasons. I started naming them seasons. I started naming the season, giving them themes.
Yeah.
I started doing transforming the entrance with every season. We put a huge budget on costumes and everything is handmade, the headpieces. Then a year after, I see the whole market now working by seasons. Everyone putting budgets on deco, on costumes, flying choreographer with this, which this never happened before in the dinner show experience.
You became the trendsetters.
So as much as I don't want to sound egoistic or anything, but I feel like we shaped this industry. We just transformed the concept and the vision of dinner shows in the region and probably in the world, because everywhere I went, it was a nice show, but it was more on the go-go fun. It was never taken seriously. I wanted to work with professional dancers, to pick up choreography with the best artists, with the best musicians, with these artists usually don't work in nightlife because they work more in theaters, in TV, and I wanted to bring my world to the F&B and to the nightlife world. And this combination created a formula that honestly everyone now is replicating.
For the choreographers and the creative directors, the aspiring ones, what would you give them as a piece of advice?
As much as we always work for the applause and we always work for the audience, but I always want to tell them to stay true to themselves and not to search for validation. The validation will come as soon as you create yourself on stage. As soon as you create something new, you will attract the right audience for you. That's it. Don't copy. There's a thin line between getting inspired and copying. It's always healthy to get inspired, to see, to watch, to go travel. But copying, you will not. You will always be number second, and you will never reach anywhere. So this is mainly my advice to them.
And what is your dream for Dream?
Look, I told you honestly, I believe that Dream at this point, with all its DNA and pillars and everything that we've created, Dream deserves a spot worldwide. And I believe with Sunset and with everything they have expanded in the world, it's not a far project. One has to mention that today, if in Dubai Dream has become not only a brand, it became a destination. Whoever comes to Dubai, they probably visit Burj Khalifa, they visit the desert, they visit Aura, or like the high destinations. And Dream today has become a destination. It's an experience that I know from people that fly to Dubai. They wanna try it, and they always talk about it. So I believe that this experience, this brand, deserves a spot worldwide.
And what is your words for the fans of Dream and for the team who are behind Dream? I had the chance one time to enter and see everything, and I know that every single detail is taken care by the right people. What do you tell them?
Look, I only have appreciation. I feel like this brand is everyone's baby. It's my baby, it's the chef's baby, it's the GM's baby, it's everyone's. Like it's because it was a brand that was created in Sunset in Dubai by us. So it's not like a big brand that was like a license or something.
Exactly.
It was homemade, if you want to call it that way. So I feel the love that everyone has for the brand. I feel and I cannot but appreciate them. And honestly, also, as much as I do for the show and as much as I create for this place, if I'm not backed up by a great marketing team that puts me in the market and creates awareness around me, then there's no point of my show. So also, the marketing department has a huge role in making Dream a destination, a brand, and a benchmark that everyone looks up to. It's just teamwork. Definitely also working along with Mark that holds together all these pillars. I feel like we're a solid team, honestly, not because I'm on the podcast or I'm trying to talk to you. I mean, you've been to Dream and
I've been to Dream
you
and
see how it works.
I saw everything.
It's not a corporate environment. I want you, I call you. They want you, they call me. I don't work by email. Don't send me an email. If you're dying, call me. So this is how it works. It's such a friendly environment, and it works. It simply works.
I have to share something to emphasize on the friendly environment. When you were working on season 7, and I was supporting you on taking behind the scenes what was happening, I was extremely sick with a fever.
Yeah.
And some mistake happened with the videographer that was outsourced. And we shot the whole night without audio.
Yeah.
I had to come back on another day while I was still sick, but I did it from the bottom of my heart because everyone was friendly. Everyone was supporting me. They knew I was sick.
Yeah.
They were trying to comfort me.
Everyone wants to take care of you, feed you. Let's have a drink.
Even though I'm part of Sunset, not of Dream, but we're still under one umbrella. And everyone was trying to support me in all the ways. So I can imagine how people at Dream work from the bottom of their heart, and they want to deliver the best of the best. Finally, since we mentioned Sunset Hospitality Group again, what does it mean to you, this group?
Look, I've never been employed in my life, to be very honest. I was always an artist flying in this universe, doing projects. I had my agency that supplies entertainment and everything. This was my first project with Sunset. And it was in my head when I first signed the contract, I was like, it's a 2-year project. I'll do it. It's going to be like another tremplin, another whatever you call it, like a jump in your a leap in your life. And then I find myself here 3 years and a half after. I feel like Sunset, in one word, is a safe space for me to be who I am as an artist, to create and to grow.
Without compromising to your identity.
True.
Thank you so much, Pierre, for this.
Finished?
Yeah,
we can go for days.
We can go for days with you.
Let's do season 3,
Season 7 was done. It was amazing. Dreamverse, now season 8. We call everyone to go and watch the show. The nice thing about Dream is that even if you go first time, second, third, fourth time, you will never be bored because there's always something new. And I think we showed the best identity about the Dream. Now it's up to you to go and watch. Thank you so much, Pierre, for these insights and this information about Dream. Thank you for watching this episode with Pierre Khadra, the creative director of Dream Dubai. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Sunset Hospitality Group, and follow us on Instagram to stay up to date with all our news.